Namaskar. A very warm welcome to all of you to our new series, Mehfil. Well, you have all witnessed, you have been with us through the journey that we started last year in April. We celebrated my Guruji Pandit Ekanand's centenary, and then we ended with my Guruma's 90th birthday. Thank you so much to all of you. I know that you have joined from all over the world, and I have seen some concerts had a view of over more than 1 lakh. So that is tremendous. And I think that's only because of your support, your love, and my Guruji's blessings. Now, this new session is going to be another new journey for Kalakar team. এবার যে মেহফিল আমরা শুরু করতে চলেছি, চেষ্টা করব মাসে অন্তত 2টো অনুষ্ঠান করার। আর এই অনুষ্ঠানে আমি প্রথম থেকেই বলে দিচ্ছি কিন্তু যে বাংলা, হিন্দি আর ইংরেজি 3টে ভাষাতেই আমরা কথা বলবো। এই অনুষ্ঠানে আমার সঙ্গে যারা প্যানেলে থাকবেন, দুজন ভীষণ সুন্দরী পরী বলি তাদের আমি। তাদের মধ্যে একজন খুবই ভালো বাংলা বলতে পারে, কথায় কথায় বইকে বলে গ্রন্থ, আর আরেকজন ভীষণ ভালো ইংরেজি লিখতে পারে এবং বলতে পারে। আর আমার তো 3টে ভাষা মিলিয়ে একটা জগা খিচুড়ি ব্যাপার এমনিতেই আছে। তো আশা করছি খুব আনন্দ করে আপনাদের সঙ্গে এই সময়গুলো ভাগ করে নেওয়া যাবে। মেহফিলে বিভিন্ন কিছু নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করব। সেখানে থাকবেন কবি, সাংবাদিক, চিত্রকর, অভিনেতা, অভিনেত্রীরা। তার সঙ্গে আমাদের হিন্দুস্তানি শাস্ত্রীয় সঙ্গীত নিয়ে বরাবরের মতো ইনডেপথ আলোচনা তো থাকবেই। তো আজকে প্রথমে আমার নতুন বন্ধুদের নিয়ে শুরু করা যাক। একজনকে তো আপনারা অলরেডি চেনেন। She is a very well-known Kathak dancer in UK, a part of Kalakar. So let us welcome Srimati Indrani Datta.
নমস্কার সুধী মণ্ডলী, আমার প্রণাম নিও চন্দ্রাদি. It's a real pleasure to join you, and it's going to be a wonderful session. I feel it already. I think 2021 will be a much better, brighter, and more productive and creative year than 2020. There is no doubt about that.
I'm sure. Let us now welcome our new panel member, very beautiful, gorgeous Arundhati Mukherjee. She is a journalist, she is a reciter, and above all, a wonderful human being. Let us welcome Srimati Arundhati Mukherjee.
Hello. Namaskar Chandradi. Hello Indrani. Hi. Hello everyone watching us out there. It's a pleasure to be here for the first time.
I'm really excited to have this new panel with all three of us wearing pink today. And the next time you'll see us in a different color.
I'm excited and also nervous being in this esteemed panel with all of you here for the first time. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Indrani, so I would like to talk about Kalakar. Because you are a part of Kalakar, you are a team member of Kalakar, and from the day one you have been with us.
Yes, it seems like a long time, and at the same time, it doesn't seem like a long time. It feels like it's only yesterday that we were on stage, we were rehearsing for a live production and surrounded by our fellow artists. And then within an hour, the curtains would open and the hall would be full. So this does seem like it was almost just yesterday. But actually, our last production for a full house audience was last year on the 8th of March. And it was a production of Akhtari, which was a wonderful musical written by Chandradi, presented by Kalakar Arts on the life and works and loves of Begum Akhtar, the queen of the ghazal. So this was the last moment I can remember Kalakar shining as brightly as Kalakar has been shining on the virtual forum. So what happened before Akhtari? Another production took place the year before, Saraswati, daughter of Tansen. So again, that was another very special production. It was my first production with Kalakar, and I had a small cameo role as a Kathak dancer. And it gave me an opportunity to see how it's possible to have the very, very best of all of the classical art forms come together. Classical vocal, classical dance, and acting. That special kind of abhinaya that is required in productions such as these. So this year, Kalakar Arts has an aim. It has a vision. And that vision is partly born from 2020. 2020 wasn't easy for any of us. And Kalakar also had to adapt. Just like the real Kalakars, us artists who are used to living half our lives, if not full of our lives, on stage and with other artists. So what happened in 2020? Well, after our 8th of March program, a full house at SOAS, we shortly went into lockdown. And Kalakar and Chandradi didn't take very long to realize that we cannot slow the momentum down. It was vital to carry on. And so Chandradi started that beginning preparation behind the scenes of the Guru Shishya Parampara. And it was to mark the centenary of her Guru, Pandit A.T. Kanan, one of the most renowned academics, writers, teachers on Indian classical music. And so that's how it started. Among the first guests, we had Ustad Rashid Khan, a great supporter of Kalakar Arts. And we look forward to actually having Ustad Rashid Khan joining us in the future in London when it is safe for him to do so. And we carried this Guru Shishya Parampara through many, many artists who all came forward. They included huge names like Anup Jalota, who is beloved, and his bhajans, I think, have reached every corner of the world. And it carried on. It was over almost 60 separate sessions in celebration of the Guru Shishya Parampara. So what does Guru Shishya Parampara mean for us? We're living in the 21st century, and this Guru Shishya tradition goes back many, many centuries. So is there something still in this tradition that we can take from? And I think we can. Because the teachings of the great gurus is not just something that they have thought of themselves. It has been passed down through generations of knowledge and teaching and learning and parampara. And the Guru Shishya Parampara is a brilliant way to understand three aspects: Dekhya, Sikhya, and Parakya. Dekhya means that you see something and you pick it up. And some people are talented enough to do that. Sikhya means to learn from a guru, someone who will take the time and patience to teach you everything that they know. And Parakya means for you to test yourself on your knowledge so that you can become a better artist, a better collaborator, a better creator, a better performer. But when all these three things come together, that's really the aim of any artist, that you can do Dekhya, Sikhya, and Parakya all equally well. And so this is my personal journey, as well as all of my friends and artists' personal journeys. And we ended the Guru Shishya Parampara in 2020 with something very special. It was the birthday of Chandradi's Guru Ma, Pandita Malavika Kanan. And we celebrated it on the 27th of December with my Guruji, Vidushi Saraswati Sen, and her students, my Guru Bens and Guru Bhais in Delhi at Kalashram. And that was a very, very special session. We shared all these wonderful stories of Pandit Birju Maharaj Ji, who is the living legend in Kathak, and learning from his life lessons, someone who became a Kathak dancer before the age of 10, someone who made his name at the age of 14 in Kolkata and has a very special place for Kolkata and Bengalis and Bengali performers in his heart. So you can see 2020, though it had so many challenges, also brought us many, many gifts. And we met so many collaborators and created new work. And 2021 is going to be not only a continuation of that, but it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and it's going to be brighter. So this is our aim. And if we are going to fulfill it, we expect you to be with us.
Thank you so much. This gives me enormous pleasure to have such talented, committed, and dedicated people. They are dedicated to their arts and they are supporting me to promote the arts in the West. And I'm so pleased to have Indrani and Arundhati both as my team members and my little sisters. So it's lovely to have you both here. Now, let us welcome today's guest, who is a very professional dancer in Odissi, but at the same time, she is a mother, she is a professional lawyer as well. And obviously, as Indrani said, we worked with the life of Begum Akhtar, who had all challenges in her life. And that's what we try to see, that we nowadays as well are facing with lots of challenges, but still, we never give up. We still continue with our journey, with our passion for music. So let's talk to Goirika Mathur. Srimati Goirika Mathur joining us from London today. And I would like to welcome her for the first time in Kalakar's platform. Namaskar, Goirika.
Namaskar, Chandradi. Namaskar, Indrani, Arundhati.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, just to let you all know, we already have loads of audience here. Let me just read a couple of comments quickly. Swati Bishwash বাংলায় সুন্দর করে লিখেছেন শুভেচ্ছা রইল, তারপরে আবার ইংরেজিতে লিখেছেন বেস্ট উইশেস টু এভরিওয়ান। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ স্বাতি ফর জয়নিং আস। হিন্দল মজুমদার, খুব নামকরা তবলিয়া, কলকাতায় থাকে এবং আমেরিকায় থাকে, আমার বিশেষ বন্ধু এবং কলাকারের সাপোর্টার। হিন্দল সবাইকে বেস্ট উইশেস জানিয়েছে। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ হিন্দল, তুমি রয়েছো সঙ্গে, ভালো লাগছে। শৈলেশ ছাবিয়া বলছেন বেস্ট উইশেস। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ Salish. I don't remember seeing you here before, so thank you very much for joining us today. Bolo Goirika.
Chandradi, I'm feeling so humbled and thankful to you, Indrani, Arundhati, and for inviting, for thinking about me to be part of this event today. And I'm very happy that, I'm starting 2021 with this event.
Okay, Goirika, just to warn you, Arundhati being a journalist, she has loads of questions to ask. Okay, and Indrani being a lawyer, a barrister, has more questions to ask. So my job today is just to watch you all. Okay, so over to you, Goirika. I think it would be good to start with a little bit about Odissi dance, because a lot of our viewers, I'm sure they would love to know, and I would love to know as well, how you do the makeup, the costume, and all that. If you could please explain, and then we would like to start the session with your performance, if that's okay.
Yes, definitely. So Odissi is one of the 8 classical dance forms of India. And in Natya Shastra, it has been mentioned along with Bharatanatyam to be the oldest classical dance form. So let me just give a brief insight about the 8 classical dance forms. So Odissi is from Odisha, Bharatanatyam is from Karnataka, Kathak from Lucknow, Banaras and Jaipur is also there, and Kuchipudi is from Andhra Pradesh, Mohiniyattam and Kathakali comes from Kerala. Manipuri is from Manipur, and Satriya from Assam. So these are the 8 classical dance forms of India. About Odissi. So before Odissi came into picture, I want to explain about Mahari Pratha. So Mahari is termed as the mother of Odissi actually, because many years back in the ancient times, the Mahari Pratha was there, which is equivalent to the Devdasi Pratha. Mahari is a combination of two words, Maha and Nari, which means great woman. So the Maharis, they used to get decked up very nicely, and they used to dance on spiritual songs for Lord Jagannath. So basically, Odissi got its recognition from Mahari because when when the abolishment of Devdasi system happened, the Mahari system also saw a decline, and then it led to the discovery of Gotipua dance, wherein young boys used to dress up as girls and they used to perform for Lord Jagannath and Radha and Krishna. And in the 50s, in the early 50s, there the pioneers of Odissi dance, Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra, Guru Pankaj Charan Das, they all brought Odissi into limelight again, back to stage. So that's how Odissi actually came into picture.
Would you like to now present something, a little performance to start with, Gaurika?
Yeah, Chandradi. So before, I hope I can, I could make you guys understand a little bit about Odissi, what Odissi is. And before starting with Odissi, I would like to actually explain about the repertoire of Odissi so that it becomes a little easier.
Okay.
So in the repertoire, first comes Mangalacharan. So Mangalacharan is nothing but an invocatory piece which marks the entry of the dancer on stage, the first dance. So the dancer comes on stage and prays to Lord Jagannath and offers his or her salutation to the audience, to Guru, to the musicians. Next comes Batu Nritya. Batu Nritya is a pure dance form which is in honor of Lord Batuka Bhairava. And in this dance, the dancer showcases various sculptures, playing various instruments like mardala, flute. After that comes Pallavi. Pallavi is again a pure dance item and it is more like a flower. So, how a flower blossoms, Pallavi starts slowly and then it picks up its pace. Next comes Abhinaya. Abhinaya is an expressional dance wherein we use all our facial expressions, our hand gestures, and then we say a story via our dance. And the last is moksha, which is salvation, which is the ultimate salvation, wherein the human soul meets the ultimate God. So this is the repertoire of Odissi, and I would like to start with Abhinaya piece, a Durga Stuti. And before showing the Durga Stuti, I would like to show two very important postures of Odissi, which actually makes it different from the other dance forms. Can you just I'm just adjusting it a little bit, so I hope this is okay.
This is okay, but if the camera could be tilted a little bit because we can see more floor here, then yes, that's fine. That is fine. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I would like to start the Abhinaya piece, and before that, I want to do my Bhumi Pranam. And as I was talking about the two main postures of Odissi, so this is called a chok or a chauka. So what a chauka is a square shaped stance. And the second one is a tribhangi. This is a stance wherein you can see there is a bend. There are three bends. There is a bend here, the torso, and the knee. So the three bends of head, torso, and knee is called a tribhangi. Now I would like to present a Abhinaya piece which is a Durga Stuti named Dhyayat Suvarna Varna. The meaning of the song is, I bow again and again to the Devi who dwells in all creatures in the form of Shakti, the creative power. She is the mother, the protector of the universe, and the destroyer of the evil Asura. Choreography is by Guru Gangadhar Pradhan.
Suvarna Varna Trinetra Charu Hasini Suvarna Varna Trinetra Charu Hasini Sarva Lakshana Samparna Mardhendu Krutashekhara Chaturbhuja Shankha Chakra Dhara Chaturbhuja Shankha Chakra Dhara Vala Swarupini Sarva Kama Pradhan Durga Bharada भक्त वत्सला वरदा भक्त वत्सला वरदा भक्त वत्सला महिषामर्दिन्यै सर्वलोक जनन्यै ॐ नमो महिषामर्दिन्यै 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 ॐ नमो महिषामर्दिन्यै सर्वलोक जनन्यै ॐ नमो जय दुर्गायै नमो प्रकृतिरूपिण्यै नमो प्रकृतिरूपिण्यै नमो प्रकृतिरूपिण्यै ॐ नमः चण्डमुण्डप्रमथिन्यै नमः परम सुखप्रदायै ॐ नमः चण्डमुण्डप्रमथिन्यै ॐ नमः चण्डमुण्डप्रमथिन्यै नमः परम सुखप्रदायै परमानन्ददायिन्यै परमानन्ददायिन्यै ॐ देवै शिवायै अभयदायिन्यै दुर्गायै अभयदायिन्यै दुर्गायै अभयदायिन्यै दुर्गायै अभयदायिन्यै दुर्गायै अभयदायिन्यै दुर्गायै या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्ति रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः Namo Namaha. Ah,
Amazing. Amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Goirika. It was lovely, not only the explanation of Odissi, but at the same time the performance as well. Let me read the comments that we have received from almost all over the world by now. সুদীপ্ত বি ঘোষ ভালো লেগেছে ওনার ভীষণ। দোদুল এ আর সবসময় আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকেন বাংলাদেশ থেকে। দোদুল লিখেছেন লাভলি পারফরমেন্স। কৃষ্ণী আস্থানা বলছেন বিউটিফুল প্রেজেন্টেশন। সুদীপ্ত ঘোষ, বিন্নু সিং জানতে চেয়েছিলেন which dance is this? Binu, I think you have missed the first part of it, but as Prishni already answered your question, this is Odissi. Just to let you all know that in this Mehfil series, I would like to invite artists from different genres. So we have seen Odissi today, we'll be knowing about it more. Then we'll have Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, we'll have the folk dance, we'll have Kathak, obviously, Indrani is there with us, so that we all know what these dance forms are, so that we all know the in-depth, we will be able to learn something from each session. That's my aim. Nanish Mehta beautifully performed, Goirika. সঙ্গে রয়েছেন Kamalvirji. Kamalvirji is a part of Kalakar team, a very good friend of Kalakar and a supporter. Meena Rakshit বলছেন so nice and clear process of explanation. Thank you, Minadi, for joining us for the first time today. We have Chitra Bachar বলছেন very nice performance and explanation. আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন নয়নেশ, সঙ্গে রয়েছেন পাম্মি দাস, আরো অনেকে। সবাইকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ এই নতুন সিরিজে জয়েন করার জন্য। আর গৈরিকা, তোমাকে আবারও ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ সো
শুরুটা
মাচ।
ভীষণ ভালো।
আমি একটু স্কেপটিক্যাল ছিলাম, কারণ বাড়ির মধ্যে পারফর্ম করা, it's very different experience than stage. And I think we are very new to this kind of technicality, wherein you have to set the laptop or the screen, whatever it is. একটু skeptical ছিলাম, but I'm feeling very happy now that people have appreciated and people have liked it. Thank you so much.
The performance have definitely surpassed all these challenges that we are facing right now. প্রথমে চোখে আসছিল তো যেটা স্টেজ নয়, ইটস আ হাউস রুম, কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে কিন্তু পুরো ফোকাস তোমার উপর চলে এলো, and you have totally captivated your audience. I can assure you that.
I was little bothered about whether I'm clear or not, everything is clear or not. And I think the most scariest part is yourself on the screen and then dancing. That is for me.
We can see you and hear you very clearly, and personally as a classical dancer I absolutely love it when even a small recital is started with a particularly feminine divine form. So the fact that you chose Ma Durga, my personal favorite, I'm very, very happy, and it's a gorgeous piece, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was watching in pin drop silence.
Thank you so much, Indradhi.
Tell me, Gorinka, if I'm sorry to cut you there. If I may ask you something. I was watching you with all. I was awestruck. I was watching you because you were so graceful and you were very fluid with your movements. Yet you had this, this control over each of your steps. Please tell me how many hours each day it takes for a dancer like you to practice to get this perfection.
It's a very interesting question, actually, Arundhati. I would have said earlier, before 2020, it was a different scenario because, we used to go to a studio and then practice, right? Like minimum of 1 hour every day. Oh. Apart from the classes, apart from our jobs or our regular, whatever household chores, everything, I used to go to the studio and practice. Then came 2020 and everything changed for us. So, we had to especially I'll be talking about myself. There were times when there was a little bit of lack of motivation, because when you're practicing, somebody will come to complain, and then there are other activities. You are working from home, you are working for home, everything you are doing from home. So it was little challenging for me. But then I think everything surpasses when you have so much of love for dance, for any art form actually. And then I made sure that I wake up early, and then I practice when nobody's awake. And I have arranged. We all have learned to do a lot of arrangements. I think, like with regards to light or other setup also, right? So similarly, I have bought a small carpet kind of thing where I'll be practicing, and so that the noise doesn't come, and I know, right, which timing will be odd, like for people when they will be awake, or they'll be working or so. So I think I have programmed myself like that, when I'll wake up early and put that carpet and practice. And again, very odd timing, afternoon, when I know that people will be little bit in a mood to relax, or maybe going out or something. I'll be taking out these small time, which might be odd for my house
So who
people.
are these people that you are referring to time and again? The people who comes to complain and
Kind of.
trouble you.
I live in an
Kids.
apartment, so you
Oh,
can
no,
understand.
I meant your kids.
No, not my kid. My kid and my husband has been the biggest support actually. Biggest support. Otherwise I don't think so it would have been possible to do this, to remain sane, everything. But it is actually, sometimes we get complaints from neighbors and all, because obviously it's an apartment. It's a small apartment. So yeah, when you stamp your feet and all. So, and especially in classical, you have to stamp your feet. Without that, you cannot do it. So when you're stamping or practicing, people will come and complain. So I actually came out with this idea to inform them that these are the times maybe I'll be practicing or so. So is it okay? And I think when you talk little nicely and you approach people in a positive way, they also understand.
Wow, I never thought about this at all. That this is a hindrance.
It's a very big challenge indeed. Yeah.
Mm, mm. Well, today's session is with Gairika, but for the first time, Arundhati has joined Kalakar. And as you probably know me, that if somebody joins Kalakar, I never let them go back. So she would have to stay with us. There is no way. So I would like to know a little bit more about Arundhati today. That what she's been doing over here. I know she loves asking questions to people because she has interviewed me, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, this girl has endless questions.
এটা তো কথা ছিল না চন্দ্রানী you catching me off guard.
এটা ইন্দ্রাণী জানে যে অনেক কিছু কিন্তু খুব স্পন্টেনিয়াসলি হতে হবে। তো
I know, but it is awkward to talk about myself. As much as I love poking my nose everywhere in other people's
We
business.
all know you are gorgeous. We all know you are beautiful. You write wonderfully. But tell us a little bit about you before you ask the next question to Gaurika.
Okay, so that is my big question. I also love to, I am a spoken word artist. I think Gaurika and Indrani doesn't know that yet. You know Chandadi. I love to do recitation. I am a news reader with a Bengali TV channel here, UK-based Bangladeshi and England a TV channel. There I'm reading news. I am writing for several publications here. What else? I love to do recitation. I have 2 kids. One is 4 year, one is 1 year and 9 months old, and I love them. They, the programs like this, and my kids, they for the first lockdown and the second wave. Frankly, I haven't realized. Everybody were going all hoo ha ha that, oh, I can't take it anymore. But I did not realize I was absolutely engrossed with all these things. And my kids are such entertainment. If you see, they are like cartoons, 2 cartoon characters. So that gives me enough joy to pass my time even when I'm stuck at home. And I love to talk with people. I love to come to shows like this. That's all from my end. I don't
Well,
like to.
you will be even busier now. We'll give you lots of responsibility from the team Kalaka. So don't you worry. তাই না ইন্দ্রাণী? আমরা তো ভালোবাসি সবাইকে। এই তুমি এই
Absolutely. I've got so many things to discuss, and Chandradi and I have been thinking about things in the background, and it's really lovely that we found yet another lover of culture, but not just that, a wordsmith. You know, the ability to use words to create color, shape, emotion is a fantastic skill and talent. So
Thank you.
the fact that we have a wordsmith amongst us is a very special thing.
Thank you so much. Actually, Tumi Indrani, jokhon you were talking about Chandradi and Begum Akhtar and all these programs, I was thinking that in the beginning of last year, I think I did interview Chandradi, and I was doing the Guru Shishya Parampara, that you were working with her at that time. I was only listening to her, and I was writing this. If I would like to mention this to the audience who are watching right now, if you just Google Kalakarats Asian Light, you will find this wonderful interview that Chandradi had done with me. I wish it would not have been a print medium, and I could actually make you share that with you word by word what Chandradi said. I am not sure if I could have paraphrased, and I had portrayed it properly, even in quote. But it was amazing. It was marveling experience to know her journey. That it is not just saying that Guru Shishya Parampara, that Chandra Chakravarti had actually, in today's day and time, has started very early from 8 years old, if I am not mistaking now, that she left her parental home and has come to stay and live and learn with her Guru Ma and Guruji, Pandit Ekanan. And she had left so many things of today. This thing about, now you have zoomed all over me. So this thing that because I can't see any of your face, I was only talking.
Now you can see all of us.
I'm not that expert with camera yet, but Chandradi, honestly, this that when we were passing our time hanging out with friends and all these things, but you were totally removed from the toxicity of our that culture that our present day is bringing us, and you are totally immersed in the true culture, and I think you know what you are today. You are.
Well, I'm nothing.
I'm not only talking about the art, and obviously you're singing, ওটা তো বলারই আমার কোনো বলার জায়গাই রাখে না, but also as a person, the way you are so humble and you are so sweet. You are like out of the world because you have been out of the world.
প্রশংসা শুনেই তো লজ্জা পেয়ে যাচ্ছি। যাই হোক, পুষ্পিতা রয়েছে আমাদের সঙ্গে। পুষ্পিতা, অনেক ধন্যবাদ, সঙ্গে থেকেছো আমি জানি, সবসময় তুমি সঙ্গে রয়েছো। অনন্যা সরকার বলছে, you beautiful ladies. Yes, we love to hear that, Ananya, and thank you so much for saying this. Meena Rakshi বলছেন, my idea is practice meant both physically and mentally, although 1 hour, but actually all the time. I think yes, I agree with that. All the time. It has to be in your mind constantly, whether you are physically practicing or not. But the mental practice is always there, isn't it, Gorika?
I would like to mention keep physical practice. আমি যখন কথা বলছিলাম, it is more like, okay, you have to do this to get that perfection. But then mentally, I think, Indrani will also agree that we are all the time in that world when we are, rehearsing, we are remembering the steps. যখন অফিস ছিল, ট্রেনে বসে I used to decide, okay, this much thing I have to learn today. So I had my, homework, which I used to, do ওই journey সময়, and then come back and then practice. So yes, mentally, of course, I think we artists, I think we all are always in that world. রান্না করতে করতে we are thinking, or কিছু কাজ করতে করতে হঠাৎ মনে পড়লো যে আরে I have to remember that thing. I have to practice that thing. কিন্তু ওটার আগে চলো একটু মেন্টালি একটু প্র্যাকটিস করে নিই। এক্সপ্রেশনস আই থিঙ্ক অনেক সময় জাস্ট শেয়ারিং উইথ ইউ, আমার হাজবেন্ড এসে আমাকে অনেক সময় ধরেছে, আমি হয়তো কাজ করছি বা কিছু, আর আমি বসে বসে expression দিয়ে চলছি। So it is very embarrassing at times. I think now he is used to that and I am also used to this. But শুধু মিররের সামনে না, কাজ করতে করতে হোক, রান্না করতে করতে হোক, we are always in that world.
You're visualizing yourself doing the steps.
Yes,
in your
definitely.
mind.
Lovely.
Amazing.
Indrani, over to you. Get your list of questions out now.
Oh, it's innumerable. I think one thing we have in common, we're all eternal students. Any artist is an eternal student, and that's why I think it's also so nice to make friends with other artists, even if they are from a different discipline, because that mental space that you were mentioning, it's a space where there is an abundance, because you're able to expand your world, expand your learning, expand the experience. So I know a little bit about how 2020 was for you, because we keep in regular contact, and dances in a specific place and time where luckily we have become friends. So there's a lot of information that I am already privy to, but a lot of people won't know. So I'm asking this question on behalf of the people who don't know. What was the toughest point in 2020 for you? And how do you think that tough point is going to help you in 2021?
The toughest point. Okay, I'm again on, it's like talking to myself. তোমরাও চলে আসো।
No, the thing is that, I'm sure the audience would love to see you. So let's focus on you for some time and then we'll all be together again. Okay?
If I, before talking about the toughest point, it is more like, how it started. I remember আমি India থেকে এসেছিলাম, and Indiaতে I saw few people wearing masks and all, so I was not very serious কি এমন কি হচ্ছে। Came back and within 1 week the lockdown started. So initially we all were like very positive that maybe within a month or so everything will come back to normal. And my first virtual performance was also with Indrani. Indrani, if you remember, the first virtual performance where আমাদের it was like a big task, managing everything. কারণ কোনোদিনও এইভাবে বাড়িতে করিনি, and we had never. I'm not a very technical person actually, a little bit technically challenged. So that was the first time we did, and it seemed like very exciting for me, performing virtually and all. So we did. After that, I did. I think 2 months. I did few more performances. Gave few more performances and had some shows and all. But after that, the real challenge came when that 1 month or 2 months actually extended, and everything was from home. Now the mental health thing comes into picture. You might be when I was going to office, I used to look forward to work from home. I used to look forward ki আজকে অফিস যাব না, বাড়িতে বসে আজকে কাজ করব। But then day in day out, when you are working from home, and then you have a small kid at home, your husband is also working, so it was a very challenging phase. Even if I say a lot of things, I might not be I might not be able to explain what state I was in that time. Because every day, unnecessary tensions you are taking. You don't even know why you are stressed out, why you're so stressed out about such small things. So I think more than anything else, my toughest point was that stress, because I never knew before that. I never knew actually, what stress is, because I'm a very positive person. Kono kichu holo, I'll find out a way. and I was going out so much, you know. I was having such a busy life, যেখানে office, then so many performances, classes. You're looking forward to, you know, every day, because you are having a very, very busy schedule. But then 2020 we had a super busy schedule, but everything is from home. So I think for me, I think, yeah, the toughest point was that, because, you know, that stress within was actually very disturbing, and that actually was you know, there were like days
Does
when you,
that hamper your performance?
yes,
This
yeah, performance
stress.
actually, because when we perform, we do not let that, you know, hamper, right? That stress, we do not bring that stress when we are performing on stage. You will not realize what is going on. But then যা তোমার ভেতরে চলছে, যা তুমি বসে তোমার মেন্টালি চলছে, ওটা তো, you won't get to understand anything when a performer is performing. You know, everything is very beautiful, but then পেছনে অনেক কিছু চলছে. And I think there was a time, definitely I would say there was I won't say lack of motivation, but yes, there was something which was always, you know, pulling me down. I would like to
Yearning for to go back to stage, এটা তো নিশ্চয়ই হচ্ছে, তাই না? তোমাদের সবারই তো।
I think we all missed, actually we all missed. And আমি আজকেই বলছিলাম যে, if things, you know, goes fine and everything comes back to normal, when I'll go back to stage, I think first day will be like, you know, আমার first performance এর মতো আমার feeling আসবে stage দেখে. I'm sure I'll be very nervous actually stage it. But 2020, I would say toughest point was that, I think that stress thing was the biggest challenge for me. But then I'm very fortunate, I would say. I have a lovely family. My daughter was like, "Mummy, dance karo, mummy ye karo, mummy wo karo." And then somehow I decided, you know, I started meditating. You know, there are small things we have to introduce, you know, keep on introducing in our lives, and then, you know, find out joy from the small things. Like I started teaching my younger kids, you know, the small students, something different, you know. Ki theek hai, chalo, you know, we are doing Odissi, let us do something different. So let us explore some Bollywood, let us do some folk dance today. Erokom kore, you know, I started again coming out, and then talking. Yeah, you know, I started talking. I think I've never. We have been so busy all our lives. We actually missed out on talking so many things. So I started talking to my husband so much. We started talking so many things. It was like, you know, I think it was like rediscovering again the olden days. The olden days, actually. So yeah, I would like to use this platform actually to thank my husband, honestly, because he has really helped me, you know, he has pushed me ki karna padega, you have to do this. Korte, then yes, I came back to the normal thing. And as you said, the toughest point is jeta bolchile Indrani. Like I can go on and on actually about our experiences. There are so many experiences we all had in 2020. But yeah, in 2021, I'm a much more positive person, actually. I have learned, I've taken it as a biggest teacher to as 2020 as a biggest teacher, actually, because I have learned a lot. I've become more patient, I think, in 2020. And I'm looking forward to explore new things in 2021 now. Even though this lockdown is going on, I have decided no more stress, no more nothing. Keep on, you know, there are so many beautiful things that's happening in life. So just keep on exploring them.
আসলে লকডাউনটা
আমিও সেটাই ভেবেছি যে এই যে বছরের প্রথমে যখন বেগম আক্তার when we started practicing for Begum Akhtar, we never knew that this is what's going to come, you know. And then I was planning to celebrate my Guruji's centenary on a proper stage concert, inviting artists from India, but then everything suddenly changed. And I think my learning was to find new ways of doing things. যে স্টেজ কনসার্ট হলো না তো কি আছে, ঠিক আছে অনলাইনেই হবে, কিন্তু থেমে থাকবো না, উই হ্যাভ টু কন্টিনিউ উইথ দিস। And I must say, I would like to thank your husband, Goirika, because when we were doing sound check yesterday, I could clearly see anything that me and Indrani asked you to do, your first answer was, okay, আমার husband করে দেবে.
Yes,
So
Chandra,
that's really lovely. So thank you. Please convey our thanks to him as
he
well.
would be very embarrassed actually because he always likes to be pechone. But then, yeah, I said that, this is the platform I would like to, thank him at. আর আরেকটা কথা হচ্ছে, I used to talk to him, and I used to be very bothered, because when we are used to stage, we miss that limelight, we miss that audience and everything, right? That feel. So I used to be very bothered. I used to tell him there were so many good performances actually lined up for me from March. I missed out from April actually. I missed out everything. What if like I never go back? What if you start becoming negative, right? So many things comes out.
Mhm.
And he just told me one thing. Tu yaad kar when you started. Did you think that to stage pe jayegi, you will be performing in so many places and all? So I said no. So just remember that passion. He's not an artist. He's nowhere related to art, but he's the biggest supporter because whenever I'm in that low, he is the person who reminds me of those old days where you had started for pure love of dance, love for dance. So that's how he was like क्या होगा स्टेज जैसा परफेक्शन नहीं आएगा कोई बात नहीं थोड़ा गिर जाएगी ना थोड़ा ये हो जाएगा ना कोई बात नहीं still you are doing you are lucky you have discovered so many things. Yes, I would definitely agree that in 2020 before 2020 we never knew na এরকম shows করতে পারবো আমরা.
Absolutely.
In 2020 so many ways we actually discovered we got connected to so many
Absolutely.
old
Yeah,
art,
absolutely.
right?
দেখো না আমি ম্যানচেস্টারে বসে তোমাদের তিনজনের সঙ্গে কিরম গল্প করছি।
Look at our audience. We have Dodul. He never misses a single performance of Kalakar. And he is in Bangladesh. He is in Dhaka. We have people joining us from as far as Nigeria, Australia, Canada, America, everywhere. So this is the connecting everyone together. So that's something new that I have learned. And as we talk about Kalakar, Kalakar has grown from, we were a little only, I started with my students, and then see today I have got viewers at least over 40,000 for each show. So, all these people have come to know about us only through this online thing. So there was something that we have learned in 2020. We must admit that.
We have
So
been
now more questions. Indrani or Arundhati, who would like to start first?
দুজনের both our mouth are open.
আমরা দুজনেই উদ্গ্রীব প্রশ্নের শুধু প্রশ্ন না এই যে একটা জিনিস যেটা আমাদের বাঙালিদের জন্য ফ্র্যাঙ্কলি এটা একটা মানে রক্তের মতো একটা ইম্পর্টেন্স আড্ডা তো সেই আড্ডাটা
আড্ডা,
যে কোনো স্পিয়ারে
সংস্কৃতি।
হ্যাঁ যে কোনো স্পিয়ারে হতে পারে আড্ডাটা সেটা আইদার অ্যাবাউট আর্ট অ্যাবাউট ট্রাভেল অ্যাবাউট কুকিং কিন্তু এই আড্ডার একটা ডেপথ আছে আড্ডার একটা ব্রেথ আছে একটা পার্সোনালিটি আছে আড্ডার so this is the thing that I'm absolutely enjoying and সেই জন্যই I'm sitting here mesmerized and listening but yes I do have one other question before Goirika hopefully shows us some further dance. I'm really looking forward to more dance. You mentioned Goirika that love of dance is something that is separate and intact from anything else that's happening in life. So I'm interested to know how that love of your dance and particularly Odissi, how that became a real prominent presence in your life.
অনেকেই বলে যে আমি ছোটবেলা থেকে নাচতে চাইতাম বা এই করতে চাইতাম সেই করতে চাইতাম অনেক কিছু অনেকেই বলে আই হ্যাভ নো আইডিয়া অ্যাবাউট ওডিসি আমি ছোটবেলা আমি যেখানে থাকি আই এম ফ্রম আ স্মল প্লেস কল আগরতলা which is the capital of Tripura and it's in northeast. তো আমি যখন ছোটবেলা ওখানে নাচের ক্লাসে গেছিলাম I learned Bharatnatyam because ওখানে শুধু কথক, Bharatnatyam, Manipuri আর রবীন্দ্রনৃত্যের ক্লাসই হতো. So I did my Bharatnatyam, I gave my exams, finished my Visharad, And then, as usual, I was very happy doing what I was doing. Went to college, পড়াশোনা করেছি, law school এ পড়াশোনা করেছি, সবকিছু. And then one day, I went for a went to see a performance, and I saw my guru performing on stage. And I think that's the day, I cannot explain what I felt. I was just mesmerized, awestruck. You can use all these adjectives, and it was a different feeling altogether. I still can feel that. চন্দ্রাদি তোমরা সবাই আসতে পারবে কি?
আমরা আছি।
নিশ্চয়ই আসতে পারবো।
We're all here.
Goldika, you are looking very cute. So please capture the screen if you can, whenever you can.
It's you were saying, right? It feels so uncomfortable when you're just seeing yourself and talking. So, I feel good actually when you all are there. So basically, that was the day. I still remember I was in Bangalore, and I was not that young also because I was married, and I saw her, and the first thing that I was like, it's so captivating performance, and the whole thing, the attire, the jewelry, the tahiya, everything. And she is, not because she's my guru, but she is, she's a different kind of performer altogether in different levels. And her expressions and everything, that just captured, that everything was just so captivating, was just simply awestruck. Then I came back home. I started doing more research on Odissi. Of course, I knew about Odissi, but then I started doing more research. And then one day, I called her. And I said that, ma'am, can I just come and meet you? I want to talk to you. I want to learn Odissi. But I'm not that young. So she's like, ha, theek hai, aa jao. I went to her, and she's like, acha, you have done Bharatanatyam? No problem, come and join. And I cannot express the happiness that I had, and I actually experienced that she has agreed to take me as a student, and that was the day I started my journey. Initially, I had this problem because in Bharatanatyam, our body has to be more stiff and all, and we are more used to doing different postures like Aramandi and all. So initially, she used to rectify, aise nahi, aise karo, वैसे नहीं ऐसे बैठो, your neck has to be like this. In Bharatanatyam we are like tuck type, right? But in Odissi, it has to be a little soft. And also initially she started rectifying these things. Then one day she said that I think you should continue seriously doing this. And that was the day I have I love Kathak. I love Kathak. I love Bharatanatyam, all other forms. But then Odissi, the love for Odissi is in different, level altogether. From that day, that was the day when she asked me ki tum seriously isko karo, pursue. And till day I'm doing. And because all you lovely people are there who has, when I came to London, who has motivated, encouraged me, and given me so many opportunities, I feel so humble that, I am able to spread the joy of Odissi here, away from my country.
Thank you. Goidika, I'm sure, Arundhati, I know you have questions, but I think the audience would also like to see a bit more performance now. So
আমি ওটাই বলতে যাচ্ছিলাম that she একটু আগেই was so much love in what she was saying about her husband and everything. আমার রিকোয়েস্ট আছে স্পেসিফিক যে কথকে যেভাবে প্রেম দেখানো হয়, রাধা কৃষ্ণের প্রেম বা গদভাব বলে, তাই না ইন্দ্রাণী?
ইন্দ্রাণী বোধহয় একটু প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, but she would come back.
আচ্ছা, ওকে। তো তোমাদের ওডিসিতে how do you express love in Odissi dance form?
Odissi কিন্তু পুরোপুরি জয়দেবার গীত গোবিন্দা থেকেই এসছে সবকিছু। তো রাধা কৃষ্ণের লাভ স্টোরি প্লেজ আ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট সেন্ট্রাল থিং। রাধা কৃষ্ণের সেন্ট্রাল ক্যারেক্টার আমাদের ম্যাক্সিমাম অভিনয় যদি দেখো is obviously because it's a spiritual dance. বাকি সব ঠাকুরদের নিয়ে আছে, কিন্তু রাধা কৃষ্ণের উপর আমাদের অনেক আছে।
এরকম কিছু একটা দেখানো সম্ভব এখন?
I would love to actually. This
Please,
is one of
please.
my favorite, and it is being choreographed by my guru. So I would love to show actually that. And we just have the mic. Sorry, একটু আমি পারফরমেন্সের আগে ওটাকে একটু আমি এক্সপ্লেইন করে দেই।
হ্যাঁ।
So it will be easier for the audience to understand. So my next performance is called Braja Juvaraj. So we all have seen abhinayas wherein we have showcased Radha's love for Krishna. But this particular piece is an Oriya abhinaya wherein we showcase the Sakhis, the Gopis' love for Krishna. Braja Juvaraj is an Oriya abhinaya which describes the beauty of Braja's Prince Charming. Holding the flower given to her by Krishna when she helped him cross the river in absence of the boatman. The gopi is immersed in his thoughts. How the irresistible beauty of the young Prince Charming of Braja has captivated all, and his image is imprinted in her heart forever. How he dances in numerous bhangis, his deer-like eyes are even sharper than a sword. His other rupas, his Vishwarupa, and numerous other rupas of this layer of the serpent Kaliya are the pure joys for everyone's eyes. Music is composed by Vinod Bihari Panda and choreography is by my Guru Srimati Madhulita Mahapatra. You have to keep it down. একটু আমি অ্যাডজাস্ট করছি সো is it okay?
Yes, it is okay. Okay, Gorika.
Yeah, very clear.
Braja Juvaraj. Third one.
ব্রজ যুবরাজ ব্রজ যুবরাজ আজ মো ব্রজ যুবরাজ আজ ব্রজ যুবরাজ মো ব্রজ যুবরাজ আজ মনকু তমর মোহি নেলারে সখী মনকু তমর মনকু তমর মোহি নেলারে ব্রজ যুবরাজ আজ গো ব্রজ যুবরাজ ঘনশ্যাম ছবি কি দেখি তা ছবি কি দেখি চিত মোর রহিলা লাকি ঘনশ্যাম ছবি কি দেখি চিত মোর রহিলা লাকি ঘনশ্যাম ছবি কি দেখি তা ছবি কি দেখি তা ছবি কি দেখি চিত মোর রহিলা লাকি কাহু কাহু কেতে ভঙ্গি কি শিখিছি কাহু কাহু কেতে ভঙ্গি কি শিখিছি তারি তাছো 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 তারি তারি চো তারি চো তারি চো তাছো 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 তারি চো তাছো 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 তারি তাছো তারি তাছো তারি তারি চো তারি চো তারি চো তাছো 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 তারি চো তাছো 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 তারি তাছো যেন তারি চো তাছো তাছো তারি কিটা যেন তাকছো তাছো তাছো তারি তাছো যেন তারি চো তাছো তাছো তারি কিটা যেন তাকছো তারি চো তারি চো তারি চো তাকছো তারি চো তারি চো তারি চো তারি চো তারি চো তারি চো দেখু দেখু তারা নব নবরীতি তনুজা কমর তনুজা কমর তনুজা কমর ধরি গলারে সখী তনুজা কমর ধরি গলারে ব্রজ যুবরাজ আজ মো ব্রজ যুবরাজ আজ মনকু তমর মোহি নেলারে সখী মনকু তমর মনকু তমর মনকু তমর মোহি নেলারে ব্রজ যুবরাজ ব্রজ যুবরাজ ব্রজ যুবরাজ
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you,
That
Gaurika.
was beautiful, beautiful, Gorika. I really love that piece.
Arundhati, your questions.
She's looking very cute. That's all I can think right now. The way she is moving and the dance and her whole makeup. Please tell us, Gorika, about the tahiya you were mentioning. What is that all about? And
Yeah,
all of the pieces. What you look so cute.
it is a little bit come out. Okay. Yeah, so many people actually ask why Odissi dancers wear silver jewelry. Silver or white metal. A lot of people, when we start initially, we wear the white metal things. So the Mahari system, when it started, it was for the Lord they were performing. So they wanted to get dressed up in beautiful attire, and that's how the silver thing came.
Okay.
So regarding the jewelry, shopcut আর আলাদা নাম আছে actually. So this is called, the Mahantika is called Chithi, and this if you can see the silver chain, this is called the Matha Patti. The earring, if you can see, the Mayura style that I'm wearing, this is called Kappa or Kan. Churi is usually called Chur or Churi or Kangan. We can call anything. Sorry, my daughter is here. Chandadi,
হ্যাঁ,
I'm really sorry, আমার মেয়ে চলে এসেছে মাঝখানে।
কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। বাড়িতে হচ্ছে, মেয়ে তো আসতেই পারে, আর ও নিজেও তো নাচে। ওকে সঙ্গে নাও।
You can
Let
just
us say hello to her.
You want to say hello to everybody?
Hello.
You can
Hello,
say,
Mahi.
how are you? She's asking you. I'm fine. So I'm sorry, for the interruption.
একদম না, সরি হওয়ার কোনো কারণ নেই। এটাই তো আমাদের জার্নি, তাই না? সংসার, সন্তান সবকিছু সামলে নিজের কাজ করে যাওয়া।
And she usually goes everywhere actually. সবখানে গিয়ে বলে
Very
মামা
nice.
all the best, ভালো করে আসবে, আজকেও বলেছে ভালো করবে কিন্তু। So, so this is called a kappa or kan. And this one, ছোট নেকলেস যেটা আমরা পরেছি, আমি পরেছি আজকে, আমরা যেটা পরি সেটাকে চিকা বলে or চিক। আমি আজকে বড়, I'm not wearing the long necklace today, but this is the long necklace that we wear, and this is called a har. And the speciality is you can see all these filigree designs actually in all of them. Then comes this is called the anguti, the finger ring that I'm wearing. This is called the anguti. And the silver belt that we wear, I can just show it like this. The silver belt that we all wear, the 3-layer belt, is called the Bengapatia. And the anklet is called the ponji. So this is about the jewelry. And we also sometimes wear this pin in the bun,
Oh.
which I'm not wearing today. So I just thought I'd show all of you.
Very well coordinated, all of the jewelry pieces. Headgear টা একটু বলো কি?
So এই যে পুরোটা headgear, if you see, this is actually, it's called a pushpachura. And
Okay.
pushpachura is basically, if you see, this is the first part, যেটাকে গোভা বলা হয়, and it is being made in the design of champa, which is one of the flowers in the arrow of Lord Krishna, which we can see in the arrow of Lord Krishna. And also in the design of kadamba, which is the flower of the tree where Radha sits and waits for her Krishna. And if you can see the long one, this is called the tahiya, which actually is in the design of the spike of Lord Jagannath temple.
Mhm.
So these
আচ্ছা,
are the jewelry
কিন্তু
that-
আমার খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং লাগছে যে as you explained that Odissi obviously comes from Orissa, আর ওড়িশা পুরীর টেম্পল আমরা সবাই জানি, জগন্নাথ বলরাম সুভদ্রা তাদের জন্য বিখ্যাত, অথচ ওড়িশি ড্রেসের মধ্যে কৃষ্ণের আম, কদম রয়েছে, কৃষ্ণের ইয়ে রয়েছে। এটা খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং লাগছে কিন্তু আমার, যে এই এই যোগাযোগটা কি করে হলো?
বিকজ আমি যে বললাম যে ওরা অনেক ড্রেসের মধ্যে কৃষ্ণের ওটা নেই, ড্রেসের মধ্যে তোমরা কিন্তু মেনলি যেটা তিনটে স্টেট থেকে যে আসে ম্যাটেরিয়াল, আমাদের কস্টিউম যেটা আমরা স্পেশালি বলি, সেটা হচ্ছে বেরামপুর, সাম্বলপুর আর কাটাক থেকে স্পেশালিটি। সো তোমার সাম্বলপুরের দেখো ইক্কাত ইজ ভেরি famous, that the intricate designs, so that is the thing. And Kathak you'll find very contrast design, and Behrampure they say that Rudraksh pattern is very famous.
আচ্ছা,
So Krishna as such na tumi hoyto if I don't think that is visible hobe, but then if nowadays Bomkai is also being made for as costumes and we wear, so it's a Bomkai. So এখানে তুমি জগন্নাথের রথ পাবে, রথের চাকা পাবে ডিজাইন।
আচ্ছা,
কিন্তু এটা যেমন তাহিয়াকে যেমন আমরা বলি that it resembles the spike of Jagannath temple, also we say that it also resembles the flute of Krishna. So everywhere you'll, not in the costumes as such you'll find, but then everything, because it is taken from Geet Govinda, which is about Radha Krishna, for everything we take the reference of Krishna.
আচ্ছা,
লিঙ্কটা খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং বিটুইন জগন্নাথ এন্ড কৃষ্ণ। এটা আমারও প্রশ্ন ছিল। অনেক বছর আগে আমি যখন প্রথম পুরীতে গেলাম, দ্যাট ওয়াজ a very big tour of Orissa. So like Vedika loves Kathak, and she truly does. I have seen very few non-Kathak dancers watch Kathak with so much love and attention and precision. So I know she truly loves Kathak. On the other hand, I truly love Odissi. So when I was going to start learning dance, when I was about 4 or 5, the plan was either Kathak or Odissi. But because of my body shape, and because one of my mom's mother tongue is Hindi, because she grew up outside of Kolkata, it was decided that actually Kathak would be much better as a form. But so I became a Kathak dancer, and it is still today my favorite dance form. But as a separate place, I really love Odissi. I still do. So I had this question about Jagannath and Krishna, the same question that you've got, Chandradi. And actually, I found out that Jagannath is worshipped in the Purushottama of Vishnu. So there is a link between Jagannath, Vishnu, and Krishna, essentially the same soul being reincarnated over and over again. And in particular, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas identify very strongly with Krishna. So in that tradition, this is the link. Some people might agree, some people might not. The link is Balabhadra is the elder brother, Balaram. Jagannath is the younger brother, Krishna. So in other words, they have these interchangeable names and slightly interchangeable divine personalities. Ultimately, it's the same divine soul. But I was then looking for another name of Shubhadra. If these two have their alternative personalities, where's Shubhadra's alternative personality? But there isn't one. Shubhadra is known as the younger sister in both interpretations.
Yes. So basically, because এটা তিনটে রূপ হচ্ছে, বিষ্ণু, ইভেন রামাকেও বলা হয়, লর্ড রামকেও বলা হয় যে মানব অবতার যেটা নিয়েছিল। সো বিকজ কৃষ্ণা, বিষ্ণু অ্যান্ড জগন্নাথ জিকে আমরা সব সেম এক একটা রূপ বলি, দ্যাটস ওয়াই কৃষ্ণার হয়তো কস্টিউমস এর মধ্যে তুমি দেখবে না যে কৃষ্ণার কোনো কিছু আছে, বাট দেন জগন্নাথজির টেম্পলের যেটা তুমি পাবে, but they both are the same actually.
Such interesting thing, isn't it? Arundhati, any more questions? Of course you have more.
না, আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি ভাবছিলাম ইন্দ্রাণী যদি একটু বলে, কারণ রাধাকৃষ্ণের representation, কৃষ্ণের representation তো কথকেও হয় ভীষণভাবে predominantly হয়. How is that different? Because you said you love Odissi as well. You both share each other's dance forms love. তাহলে আমাকে একটু বলো, because I am quite a layman, although I love dances. আমি layman মানে আমি 4 বছর বয়স থেকে কত্থক শিখেছি, কিন্তু ওই 13 years এর ওই সময় যে স্কুলের একাডেমিক প্রেশারটা যেই বিল্ড আপ হতে থাকে, I had to choose. Here I have another question to Goirika, to you also Indrani, যে তোমরা কিভাবে কোপ করলে? You must have also gone through the same journey, যেখানে আমি ভাবলাম যে হ্যাঁ এবার আমার এইটে অনেক স্টাডি প্রেশার বেড়ে গেছে, তো আর আমি নাচ করবো না, বাট for you the love for dance must be so strong যে তোমরা ওটাকেও অ্যাকোমোডেট করে নিলে। তো কতটা কিভাবে কি করেছিলে স্টুডেন্ট লাইফ?
ইন্দ্রাণী আবার বাংলাতে এ-লেভেলে করেছে, কিন্তু আমি আগেই বলেছি বইকে গ্রন্থ বলে। তো দ্যাট ওয়াজ ভেরি ইন্টারেস্টিং টু। তারপর আজকে দেখলাম নমস্কার সুধী মণ্ডলী বলে শুরু করলো। আমি বললাম যে আমি তো এরকম ভাবে কখনো শুরু করি না, আমি তো শুধু নমস্কার বলেই শুরু করি। সুধী মণ্ডলী, এত সুন্দর বাংলা। You have to tell us how, and Goirika as well. Also you have a daughter. How you managed all these, huh?
Indrani,
আমি গৈরিকাকে আগে বলতে দিচ্ছি, আমার একটু চিন্তা করতে হবে। অ্যামেজিং কোয়েশ্চেনস, একটু চিন্তা করি উত্তর।
গুড কোয়েশ্চেন, মানে এটা একটু ভাবতে হবে। যদি দেখো এটাকে আমি না ক্যাজুয়াল ভেরি ইনফর্মাল কনভারসেশন হিসেবে নিচ্ছি, সো আমার যা মনে অনেকদিন ধরে আছে আমি প্ল্যাটফর্মটাকে পুরো ইউজ করে সবাইকে থ্যাংক ইউ বলে দিচ্ছি, কারণ বাকি আর সুযোগ পাই না কোনো সময় এত কথা বলার।
বলো।
আমি কোপ আপ করা, তো আগেও যেটা বলেছি, if you love something, if you have love for something, you will have time for that. Your passion will drive you. হ্যাঁ, ছোটবেলা I think আমার পুরো ক্রেডিট আমি যদি কাউকে পুরোটা দিতে চাই, it is only to my mother, because in spite of having such a hectic life, even she was a working lady, সবকিছু করে আগেকার দিনে মানুষদের কাজ অনেক বেশি ছিল, মা ওরা যা করে ওটা আধাও হয়তো আমরা করি না, তারপর এত ক্রেডিট নেই সবকিছু। এত কিছু ম্যানেজ করে সবকিছু করে she actually used to take me every single class, used to take me, বসে থাকতো। আমি হয়তো ছোট থাকতে যা হয় তুমি এসে বাড়িতে প্র্যাকটিস করতে চাও না, because you don't, some kids are very gifted, they understand that at a very early age, that love and all, but I was not that gifted also to understand ki acha amar moddhe ache and I should pursue and all. So there were days when I was like, no, I don't want to go to class, because auntie practice kore na gele dhore debe, শুধু বকা না পায়ও পড়বে একটা। But she was the one who actually took me, that those days I'm sure I used to be angry also with her, rago hoto sabkichu hoyeche, but that thing, that discipline, that push helped me so much, which I realized when I came out of Agartala. Because in Agartala, it's a small place, right? Choto, bole na fish in a pond, right? আমি ওখানে ছিলাম, I was doing it, আমার আন্টি আমাকে ধাক্কা দিত, মা ধাক্কা দিত, সবাই ধাক্কা দিয়েছে, I was doing good. So everybody knows that okay, she is there, she will do. যখন বাইরে আসলাম, then I realized that competition, আজকের দিনে because of internet and everything, সবাই সবকিছু জানে, they are well connected and all, but নর্থ ইস্ট তখনকার দিনে, এখনো অনেকে নর্থ ইস্টের ব্যাপারে জানে না ঠিকভাবে, বাট তখনকার দিনে quite cut off actually. কালচারালি এডুকেশনালি আমরা অনেক বেশি স্কোপ পেয়েছি, অপরচুনিটি পেয়েছি, বেস্ট অফ দ্য বেস্ট সব পেয়েছি, বাট বাইরের জগৎ থেকে অনেক কাটছিলাম না। তো বাইরে যখন আসলাম, কম্পিটিশন ছিল, and education wise, everything wise, not only ডান্সের ক্ষেত্রে, সবকিছুতে that thing that she did actually was useful, was helpful, and I truly realized the passion for dance after coming out of Agartala. That time, that time somebody was there to push you. Somebody was there, because now I understand my mother was so passionate about this art form. She took that pain, she was always there to make me do that thing. When I came out, of Agartala, and I realized that I'm nobody. I'm actually nobody, and there are so many talented people around you. You then realize that this is the time, either you do it or leave it. Simple. Because তোমার করতে হলে you have to do it properly. And it started very slowly, but I just realized, কি হ্যাঁ আমি করতে চাই ওটাকে. And then, as I said, again from Pune, came to Bangalore. Bangalore, I think আমার লাইফে সবসময় কেউ না কেউ থেকেছে যে আমাকে আমার থেকে বেশি হয়তো ওরা আমাকে বেশি আমার ট্যালেন্টটাকে আমি হয়তো ট্যালেন্ট বা যাই হোক লাভ যেটা হচ্ছে ওটা হয়তো আমি এতটা বুঝিনি, আর ওরা যদি না থাকতো হয়তো আমি এতটা কিছুই করতে পারতাম না হলে। It was, I think I consider myself to be very lucky that when I came to Bangalore, I met my husband and he was like, oh, you have this talent. আমি তো কিছু জানি না, আমি তো একটা কিছু জানি না। And he comes from Jodhpur, wherein I think ওদের বাড়িতে ওরা কোনোদিনও নাচ গান এসব কিছুই দেখেও নি। He was the one when I came to Bangalore and I said that আমি আবার classes যেতে চাই, I want to start with everything. It was like, again coming from zero, wherein whatever you have learned, unlearn that and start. Because whatever you have done in Agartala, এখন তুমি নতুন টিচারের কাছে যাচ্ছ, you're starting from zero, you are nobody. তুমি জানলেও doesn't matter, পুরো unlearn করে আবার learn করছো তুমি। He was the one who used to take me for classes. There was a time when চাকরির সাথে কি করে করবো এসি, but there was a constant motivating factor that yes, the love for the dance, I think, it is whenever I used to go to my teacher's place, everybody goes, everybody. কত ভি তোমার অফিসের কাজ থাকুক, কত ভি কিছু থাকুক, I think Indrani will also agree to that. When we listen to that music, when we start practicing, or when we start with the rehearsals, when we are learning, everything just goes away and you are in that space. It's a divine space actually. তো ওভাবে কোপ আপ যদি তুমি বলো তখন কি করে করেছি, আমি সত্যি কথা স্কুলে থাকতে আমাকে I would say আমার মা হয়তো স্যাক্রিফাইস করেছে আমার থেকে বেশি, because she has constantly been driving me and motivating, directing and everything করার জন্য যখন ছোট ছিলাম। বাইরে আসার পর হ্যাঁ, যেটাকে অনেকে হয়তো ভাবে স্যাক্রিফাইস, সেটা হয়তো আমাদের জন্য it's not a sacrifice, because when you're getting so much, which if I explain to somebody who is not into that person might not be able to understand. But when you are in that space, when you are learning so much, when you're getting so much from that, I think that is I don't think so I would consider that as a sacrifice. Maybe হ্যাঁ কিছু পার্টি মিস হয়েছে বা কিছু তোমার বন্ধুদের সাথে আড্ডা মিস হয়েছে বা কিছু, but I never thought that as a hindrance actually, because there were other ways to cope up with other things. There were so many things happening in your life, but this was the ultimate thing that I wanted desperately, I think. And as I said, স্কুল টাইমে যা বুঝিনি, আমি আমার জিনিসটা হয়তো সবকিছুই একটু দেরিতে বুঝেছি, যে যখন আমি when I was in my mid 20s and all, আমি তখন হয়তো বুঝেছি ওটা, যে আমার মধ্যে কিছু ভগবান দিয়েছে and অনেক বেশি ভালোবাসা দিয়েছে ডান্সের জন্য।
তুমি কি এটা মেয়েকে পাস করছো the way that your mother has done? তোমার মেয়েও কি নাচ শিখছে?
একটা সেকেন্ড, হ্যাঁ আমার ল্যাপটপটা একটু ব্যাটারি কম, একটা সেকেন্ড জাস্ট, আমি একটু চার্জারটা
Take your time. In the meantime, maybe you could talk to Indrani.
হ্যাঁ,
ইন্দ্রাণী দশ করে
I was agreeing with everything that Gorika was saying actually about the sacrifice. এখন মনে হয় না যে ছোটবেলায় কিছু স্যাক্রিফাইস করতে হয়েছে, তখনও মনে হয়নি, তখনও আমি এরকম
ইংল্যান্ডে born and brought up, ইন্দ্রাণী।
হ্যাঁ, আমি ইংল্যান্ডে born and brought up, হ্যাঁ born here. আমি নাচ শুরু করেছি about 3-3.5 বছর বয়স থেকে, কিন্তু আমার কত্থক ট্রেনিং শুরু হয়েছে 4 বছর বয়স থেকে। আমি যখন 4 বছর, তখন আমি এবং আমার ফ্যামিলি উই রিলোকেটেড ব্যাক টু কলকাতা জাস্ট ফর আ ফিউ ইয়ার্স। সো আমার যেটা এখানে যে প্রাইমারি স্কুলিংটা সেটা আমার কলকাতায় হয়, এবং আমার ওখানেই কত্থকের ট্রেনিং। আই জয়েন বাণী চক্র একাডেমি সো আমার ফার্স্ট ডিপ্লোমাটা কত্থকের বাণীচক্র একাডেমি থেকেই হয়। অ্যান্ড ওই টাইমে যখন আমি তখন খুবই ছোট, আই রিমেম্বার having a lot of influences actually, জানো তো কত্থক যে শুধু the only influence সেটা ঠিক ঠিক নয়, বিকজ আমার ড্যাডিদের বাড়ি হচ্ছে টালিগঞ্জে and it's very close to the TV studios. So as a result, ওই এরিয়াতে এখনো there's a big culture of concerts, baithaks, IT, Sangeet Research Academy is also in that same area. তো জায়গাটা ভীষণ ভাবে একটা মহত্বপূর্ণ জায়গা. It's absolutely filled with artists and this art culture. সো যখন আমি ছোট ছিলাম, গড়িয়াহাটে যেতাম ডোভার লেনে ক্লাস করতে, বাড়ি ফিরে আসতাম, তখন আমার মনে হয়নি যে কিছু দ্যাট আমার চাইল্ডহুড অন্য কিছু ভাবে করা উচিত বা এক্সপিরিয়েন্স করা উচিত। যা ছিল দ্যাট ওয়াজ ভেরি নর্মাল। রোজ প্র্যাকটিস করতাম, রোজ স্কুলে যেতাম। ওয়ান থিং যেটা আমার মনে হয় একটা অ্যাডভান্টেজ ছিল, সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমার পড়াশোনায় খুব একটা বেশি টাইম লাগাতে পছন্দ করতাম না। এখনো আমার যদি একটা কিছু টাস্ক থাকে বা একটা কোনো প্রজেক্ট থাকে, আমি কম টাইমের মধ্যে চেষ্টা করি ওটাকে সেরে ফেলতে, যাতে নাকি আমার যে অবসর টাইমটা থাকে সেটা আমি স্পেসিফিকলি নাচ গান আর্টস এর ওপরে কাটাতে পারি। ওটা আমার ছোটবেলা থেকেই। কিন্তু সেটা অনেকেরই থাকতে পারে, কিন্তু যেটা আমার মনে হয় আমার জন্য একটা স্পেশাল গিফট, এবং এখনো আমি চিন্তা করি ওটা একটা খুবই স্পেশাল গিফট, তার জন্য আই এম ভেরি থ্যাঙ্কফুল। সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমার মা গান এবং সেতার শিখেছিলেন বিফোর শি ওয়াজ ম্যারিড। তো সেই যে একটা প্রচন্ড ভাবে মিউজিকের টান সেটা তার সঙ্গে ছিল, তো তার ইচ্ছা ছিল যে আমি গান শিখি। কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি ছোটবেলায় আমি খুব চঞ্চল ছিলাম, তো তখন ভাবলো যে মেবি গান শেখানোটা ঠিক হবে না, মেবি নাচটা শুরু করাই ঠিক।
Indrani, sorry to interrupt. Could you speak in English? Because some of the audience is requesting that you could talk in English. I know I love speaking in Bengali and Hindi, but I think some audience would really enjoy whatever you are saying. If you could please speak in English.
Sure. So I'll switch to English. So as I was saying, when I was 4, I moved to India just for a few years and had my schooling there. And it's there that I actually learned, I began Kathak, my formal training in Kathak, in a very well-known establishment called Bani Chakra Academy. And I was taught by a very renowned teacher, Guru Sumitra Mitra. So that was my initiation into Kathak, and I loved Kathak. I didn't really think my childhood could be any different. But there were other influences during that time that I was in Kolkata, which really shaped who I am today. So I joined, well, actually, my mother and my parents joined a musical group which was led by a very well-known singer called Ashok Turu Bandopadhyay, and we joined his group. And so as a child, I was very exposed to the works of Tagore, Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. And I was too young to understand his lyrics, his metaphors, the compositions that he has written and the great pieces of work that he has written. But I don't think it mattered very much. It was a very immersive atmosphere. So all of those lines of Tagore became embedded in me from a very, very young age. And as I continued my Kathak, when I moved back to England, I was 11 years of age. I continued my Kathak training at the Bhavan, which is based in West Kensington in London, quite seriously. I was trained by my guru in London, Guru Shushmita Ghosh, who then became the head of Delhi Kathak Kendra. And then after a few years, I started training with Vidushi Saraswati Sen, who is still today my guru. So I was lucky that I had a very unbroken Kathak training from the age of 4 until today. I still train every single week with my Guruji, and the most important thing is that I'm in very close contact with the Guru Kul, the Guru Bens and the Guru brothers and sisters, we call each other. So it's a very strong connection. It's almost like a blood connection that we have with our Guru brothers and sisters. So I still have that. But the thing that is, I think, quite important that went along with Kathak all along through my life, even today, is the Bengali love of literature, art, and culture, which my parents shared. They both have this deep love of Bengali literature. So from a very young age, I, read Bankim Chandra, Sharat Chandra. I heard about Ashapurna Devi, then read Ashapurna Devi. Then my mum, who's a very talented teacher, taught me enough Bengali for me to do my Bengali GCC and my Bengali A level. And then I started working very deeply in the repertoire of Tagore. So my first job, as it were, choreographic job, was when I was 14, and I choreographed Chitrangada. So I played the role of Kurupa, which is one of the main female leads at 14, and I choreographed all of the main um, uh, group dances. There's two sets of group dances in Chitrangada, one for children and one for older dancers. So I choreographed the older dancers repertoire. And from then on, my whole world changed at age 14. Because once you have done a main role like that, it totally forms your personality. So even today, I know almost every single line of Chitrangada. And then after that, I carried on and actually had the chance and the good fortune to play all of the roles. So I've done Shapmochon about 50 times across the UK. I've done Tashed Desh. Each one in Shapmochon, I was Princess Komalika. In Tashed Desh, I was Horotoni. And then played Bhanu Singher Padaboli many times. Again, Bhanu Singher Padaboli is a very good example where Kathak and Odissi belong beautifully together because of the Leela, the Ras Leela of Radha Krishna. So that, again, my love of Tagore and Kathak and Odissi and all other classical forms nicely binds together in Bhanu Singher Padaboli. And so many other Tagore productions. So the sacrifice that other people noticed us making, my parents and me, we never felt. We never felt that having only 4 hours sleep was a sacrifice, or having a period of 8 years when I was doing my serious training in law and dance, I did not have a holiday. It was a period of 8 years between age 16 to age 24, because those were the golden years of training in law, training to be a barrister, becoming a stronger dancer. So now I think back and I think I'm not sure I could live another 8 years without having a holiday. But during that time,
What
it
do you
didn't
mean by
feel
you
like
didn't have any holiday? Sorry to cut you there. What do you, I am not getting you. Do you mean that you have not been on a vacation? That kind of a holiday? No, in
Oh,
eight
no,
years.
vacation or staycation. Vacation or staycation, because you would have your free time and you would do certain things like meet your friends, or you would go and meet your family relatives in other countries, or you would do other things. But I had a number of things that was very important to me. I wanted to be an expert in my area of law. I wanted to be an expert in Kathak, and I also wanted to become bilingual in French. So I speak French as well as I speak Bengali, and I did that all in those years. So that is a sacrifice, not taking a holiday, a proper holiday. Not one day here, one day there. I mean, 2 weeks in India, or 10 days in the Caribbean. So that didn't happen, and because of that, I think I do have a very unique sense of discipline. And but it doesn't matter to me because I meet lots of people like Chandradi who shares that vibrancy, that same vibration, that it is not a sacrifice when you love something, and it's definitely not a sacrifice when it is definitely part of you. It runs in our blood. So how can that be a sacrifice? So it's a wonderful question, Arundhati. I'm really loving your
I'm
questions.
just amazed. I'm listening to you. Fantastic.
So
It's a different perspective, totally.
yeah, it is. It is a different perspective. And actually, there is no point saying a classical dancer is like anybody else. A classical dancer is not like anybody else. And it is very silly to pretend that you are like somebody else. You're not. We have to think about our memory. It has to be as sharp as a sword. The
Yes.
body has to be ready. It has to be ready to be fluid like water, or it has to be forceful enough to actually create an impact without any mic, so that the step of your foot reverberates in an auditorium as big as Royal Albert Hall. I remember when I was performing at Royal Albert Hall a number of years ago, again as a Kathak dancer, It was in between a very lovely program by Shankar Eshan Loy. And there was a small section in the middle for dance, Odissi, Bharatanatyam and Kathak. And I was the Kathak dancer. And I remember thinking, there's no foot mic here. How are people going to hear my bells? There's no foot mic. But when you're in Royal Albert Hall and it's a round auditorium, there's no need for a foot mic. All you need to do is just hit the right vibrancy level and 5,000 people hear you. So these are special experiences that you get as a dancer. And Goirika has shared
Very
many
thrilling.
wonderful. It's thrilling. And, even if you have to sacrifice a number of things, and I often don't go to work parties. I often miss out on friends' birthdays. I try not to miss out on my students' birthdays because that's unforgivable. So I don't miss out on those. But it's never a choice in our minds, it just is. So there's one question that I loved. You asked about 10 minutes ago, that particular question about the difference between Odissi and Kathak, particularly because they both have Radha and Krishna's love story as a commonality. It's a very good question. So one of the things about Radha and Krishna, both in Odissi and in Kathak, is the repertoire, the Abhinaya repertoire, which is this third section. So actually in Natya Shastra, we talk about Nritya and Natya. So Nritya is the pure dance form. Nritya is the dance form with a little bit of, I wouldn't say dilution, but Nritya is the dance form with a little bit of storytelling in it. So you can understand that it's away from the abstract form. And then Natya is the real dramatic dance form, where you're getting a mixture of text and movement and expression. So Natya is actually a mixture of these three things. And Abhinaya is one of those three things, that third arm, which is the expression part. And this is where the difference between Kathak and the other forms and Odissi comes into play. Abhinaya in the Natya Shastra form is divided again into 4 parts. So this is the difference. You have, first of all, Angik Abhinaya, which is the expression of limbs. So I'll show my flute, and then Gairika can show you her flute. So in Kathak, this is how we do a flute in Kathak. And if Gairika, you can do the flute in Odissi, you'll see that the mudra is different. So we're telling the same story, but the mudra is different.
Chandradi, if you just take us off and let them compare the mudras, it will be
Yes,
fantastic.
that's what I was thinking. It would be let us take ourselves off now.
So if you start discussing, then these hand gestures will come into
Sure. So what we're discussing is the same story, but this different perspective that Kathak and Odissi brings to the same story. And we're talking about it through the different parts of Abhinaya. So in Bharat Muni's Sanskrit text, which is known as the Natya Shastra, there is a specific section dedicated to Abhinaya and the different types of Abhinaya. So the first type is Angik Abhinaya, which means movement, body movement. So for example, in Kathak, this would be Angik Abhinaya, showing flute, Krishna's flute. And in Odissi, Goirika will show you how she's doing Krishna's flute. You see, showing the same musical instrument, but the mudra is different.
But these are the two different mudras. Yes.
Exactly. So this is one example. The other example would be expression of speech, which is Vachik Abhinaya. Again, through expression, you're still going to, sometimes you don't need speech and sometimes you do. But if you wanted speech, you would call Vachik Abhinaya. So for example, in Kathak, I'll sing a line and it'll be something about, again, Krishna. Hey Krishna, where are you going, right? Dhai gaho Shyam, dhai gaho, Shyam, dhai gaho. So this is, hey, look, where's Krishna going? So in general, Vachik Abhinaya in Kathak is using one of several languages. It could either use Hindi, it could either use Sanskrit, it could either use Braj Bhasha, and sometimes it uses Maithili. And in Odissi, they have their own language.
So in Odissi, we use usually Sanskrit or Odia language. So when I was doing this Braja Jubaraj, this is actually a Odia Abhinaya, and you can see that we have used Odia language. And Jamuna Kuhaya Na Jana. This means when Radha Sakhi is telling Radha, do not go to the bank of Yamuna, because there the naughty Krishna is sitting there. So Jamuna Kuhaya Na Jana is Odia language. So
E-
Najana is again, it's a mix obviously, but that's used in Odia also. And Sanskrit Jagannath Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatumi. That is again, we are using that shloka. So these
Exactly.
are the two languages in which we use in Odissi dance.
Yeah. And the third aspect of Abhinaya is Aharya Abhinaya. So we have touched upon this subject today about the costume and the fact that the costume itself is a language. Aharya Abhinaya, the costume, but not just the costume. It's also the setting, the scene scenery. It's the setting of that particular dancer. So it could be a kunjaban, right? It could be like an open garden. As Gorika was mentioning, it could be a riverbank. That is also a setting. It could also be a temple if it's a divine piece. In Kathak, you have the whole repertoire which is dedicated to courtly dance form, because once it left the temples and caught the
Yes.
attention of the kings and queens, it then entered the royal kings and queens abode. And so you have these spectacular dances which were created particularly for palaces. So again, that is a setting as well. So Aharya doesn't necessarily just mean about your particular decoration of the dancer or the particular colors the dancer is wearing. That's all very important, by the way. Color in itself is a language in dance. If someone is wearing red, it means something, usually love. If someone is wearing black, it means something sad, a loss. If someone is wearing white, it means someone saintly, someone very pure.
Yeah.
Um, Exactly. If it's someone pitambara, it's a particular color which we associate with Lord Krishna. Radha can wear several colors, but generally they tend to be either pinkish, orangish, reddish, Radha's colors. So colors are very, very special in dance form. And then the fourth section is Satvika Abhinaya, which is true expression. So all of these things together make up Abhinaya. So Satvika Abhinaya is the emotional content, the emotional message that you are trying to send to whoever is watching. So over to Gairika to talk about that emotional message.
Am I audible?
Yes, absolutely. More, when you were talking about Radha's plight,
Yes. So when you
Radha is in pain and in love, both at the same time, poor thing.
so you can be a good dancer, but to be a good to be good in abhinaya, you have to become that character. That's what I have always been told, I have learned, and I feel. So when you are doing that particular dance piece wherein you are Radha, you become Radha. You feel all the emotions. I feel all the emotions when I dance. When you are, actually coaxing Krishna, ki, do not go, do not leave me and go. When you are complaining to Krishna, when you are actually sitting and waiting for him, when you are, with all these rasas, the nine ras, navaras, which is common in all the dance forms and everything, in the art form, the nine rasas that we actually use in our dance, we experience that too. So until and unless you do not experience, you cannot pass on the right emotions to the audience. The audience cannot connect with you. So for me, which has always been the main thing, I love abhinaya, because you get to play a character, you know uh, you get to play, not only play the character, you get to become the character, you get to become Radha, you get to showcase all the emotions. When you're Durga, you actually feel that power within you. So when I'm performing something, I become that character. And that's how I think, that abhinaya, that expression comes well, wherein, the people who are watching you can connect with you. And I'm sure, it has happened with
Absolutely.
you also, that, how much ever you read a particular, how much ever you might read 2 lines or 3 lines to explain the dance, when you are actually dancing, the people get connected. So when I was
Yes.
explaining about Durga Stuti, when I danced, even if you don't know anything, you will understand that, okay, that she is the goddess, and she, that she is actually removing the evil asura, or so you can see that. You have to feel that. Even the audience has to feel that. The audience has to connect with you. And if you are not into that character, how will the audience connect with you if you are not connected with, if you are not feeling that thing? And I think, that is what the main thing is, as we were discussing. The rasas, yes, the implication of rasas will only be possible if you feel that.
Is there
Absolutely.
any form called moksha, Indrani in Kathak or in Odissi?
Yes,
Yes.
I told that, right, in the repertoire. The
Yes.
final one is moksha,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
is called the salvation. So when
Yeah.
you come above all the human experiences, and the soul meets the ultimate Lord.
It's true. And actually, when you're talking about rasas, even in the 9 rasas itself, the element of moksha, which is shant rasa, is right at the end. It's
It's
saved at the end. So,
So
and
how is the dance form then? Like, do you attain some kind of liberation through dance? How is the dance? Because so far you are talking about enactment, emotions, drama. How is moksha? Because I have understood that nritta is footwork mainly, as you have explained, both of you, and nritta has a little bit of enactment and more dance. Then comes abhinaya. Am I going right?
then comes natya, and
Natya.
so
within
nritya
natya,
is,
abhinaya falls within natya.
so
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
yes,
now, how is moksha? I would love to know that.
Well, for
And for both of
example,
you separately.
yeah, I mean, Mirabai, for example,
Yeah.
if you're looking at Radha, so one of the things about rasa to remember, particularly in dance, is that the king of the rasa is usually Sringar ras, which is the ras which depicts love and beauty. So
Mhm.
in most classical dances, the king of the rasas is Sringar ras. But because of the different characters and the different age of the Naika, that Shringar Ras can be depicted in slightly different format with the use of other rasas that are joined together. So, for example, with Radha, it could be that she is mainly Sringar Ras because she is in love with Krishna. So that's definitely a very strong thing. But at the same time, you could probably have a little bit of Rodra, a little bit of anger, because she gets a little bit annoyed with Krishna from time to time because of his various gopikas running around. But your question about moksha would go somewhere closer to a character like Gautama or
Gautam
Meera.
Buddha, yes, or
Yeah,
Mirabai.
so if you hear the word Buddhang Sharanang Gacchami, that very much goes towards that moksha kind of feeling. So I think Goenka can definitely add to that as well, because the other particular, for example, we were talking about Lord Rama a little while ago. Lord Rama, he is the epitome of Veer Ras. He's so many other rases, but he is primarily the Veer Ras. So one particular character can have these smidgens of other races, but they generally have a prominence of one race.
Yes, we do have the prominence of one ras, but then the other rasas also comes. Even in Radha Krishna, Bibhatsa ras won't be in that love story, that won't come. But if you see Adbhuta ras comes, right? When you're seeing, you are in Vrindavan, you are just mesmerized by the beauty. So that
Yeah,
is Advaita. Then
yeah,
Rodra, he explained.
yeah,
I hope Arundhati, you're able to little bit get us, because there are actually nine
Yeah.
rasas that we were discussing about. Nine
yeah.
rasas are, that includes which we also apply.
I will understand better if you can show me. I don't know if it
Yeah,
is too much to ask.
I mean, go over the 9 rasas. It's a very good point. So you've got Shringara, which means love and beauty. Then you've got
First one is-
Hasya.
Yeah, so
Hasya,
yes,
Hasya is the laughter ras.
I think
Karuna is
no. If you can showcase also, it will be good. That's
oh,
what
okay, I understand. Sure. So
Like you were just showcasing the mudras. Now, if
the
we
actual
all can
emotion.
see the
Sure,
expression.
absolutely. So Shringar is the easiest one because it's love and beauty and it's Radha. So I'll show you a typical Shringar movement and Goika can also show one. So for Radha, for example, Ghungat is a very typical movement. So it would be something like this. And that would be Radha.
So if I want to show Shringaras in Odissi,
And moving on, you'd next have something like Hasya. Hasya is the rasa for laughter. Hasya rasa. And
But
generally with
before we go to the Hasya Rush, am I saying it all right? I think.
yes, yes.
আমি ভাবলাম চন্দ্রাদি অনেকক্ষণ চুপ করে বসে আছে কিন্তু শৃঙ্গার বললেই তো কত ভালো ভালো গান মনে পড়ছে 1-2 লাইন যদি
না চুপ করে বসে আছি না এগুলো সবই তো শেখার তাই না
একটু
চুপ করে
গান
বসে থাকা
শুনি
কোনো সময় তো নেই যখন চুপ করে বসে থাকা actually we are towards the end of the show so I was just going to because obviously there's loads we could discuss and we could go on and on and on but I was just thinking whether is it absolutely and I'm more than happy to have another session so that we can talk more about it but I was just thinking whether Goirika could do a little performance and to end the session with আর অরুন্ধতী আমার গান অলরেডি অনেক শুনে ফেলেছিস আবার পরে একদিন শুনবি
শৃঙ্গার যে বললো না অমনি কয়েকটা মনে পড়ে গেল লাইন
That's a good point, actually.
Rasa,
the moment they showed and I was like ইস তুমি যদি একটু গুনগুন করে উঠতে
নিশ্চয়ই গুনগুন করে এই তো সেদিনকেই আমরা যেমন কি নিয়ে যেন কথা হচ্ছিল ইন্দ্রাণীর সঙ্গে তখন বলছিলাম যে ও যে ভাও দেখায় রাধা কৃষ্ণের যে ভাও দেখায় রাধা কৃষ্ণের প্রেমের কথা ঠুমরিতে এরকম তো কত ধরনের কথা আছে না যেমন বিখ্যাত ঠুমরি আমার গুরুজি ছিল কন গলি গয়ো শ্যাম শ্যাম রে कौन गली गयो শ্যাম তো এখানে বিরহ আছে রাধার ভালোবাসা রয়েছে সবকিছু মিলিয়ে মিশিয়ে একটা তো
এখানে কিন্তু চন্দ্রাদি জাস্ট একটু বলি এখানে নায়িকাও আসছে actually we should have one I think we should have one session where we can showcase we can discuss about the nayikas
absolutely
and we can actually via dance we can show the nayikas also maybe একটা টপিক উঠে আমরা কোনো একদিন করলাম this will be very interesting because নায়িকাদেরও কিন্তু আমরা শুধু রাধাকেই দেখাচ্ছি যে সবসময় লাভে আছে কিন্তু ওর অনেক রূপ আছে
একদম very interesting isn't it Arundhati such a lovely session
Arundhati you
so
might
much to learn so much to know about the differences between Kathak and Odissi
ওদের দুজনেরই কয়েকটা কোট মাথায় থেকে গেল আমার এই যে ইন্দ্রাণী দ্য ডিফারেন্ট পার্সপেক্টিভ শি ওয়াজ গিভিং যে যদি স্যাক্রিফাইস মনেই না হয় তাহলে স্যাক্রিফাইস কি করে হতে পারে মানে শি ইজ নট ফিলিং ইট হারসেলফ ইউ নো দিস আর কোটেবল কোটস
আমি যেমন ভাবি যখন গুরুমা অন্য সব বন্ধুদের দেখতাম ফুচকা খেতে যাচ্ছে আমি যার জন্য এখনো পর্যন্ত দুটোর বেশি ফুচকা খেতেই পারি না কারণ অভ্যেসটাই তৈরি হয়নি আমার বাট আই ডোন্ট মিস ইট ইউ নো কারণ ওই সময়তে আমি যা শিখেছি আমার মনে হয় তো তার অনেক অনেক বেশি আমি আমার গুরুর কাছ থেকে পেয়েছি যে একটু গিয়ে ফুচকা খাওয়ার থেকে হ্যাঁ ওটাও নিশ্চয়ই একটা আনন্দ অফকোর্স ইট ইজ কিন্তু ওটাকে যদি মনে করি যে এটা স্যাক্রিফাইস যে আমি বন্ধুদের সাথে প্রসেনজিতের সিনেমাটা দেখতে যেতে পারিনি, কিন্তু তার বদলে যে আমি গোরমালহারের দুটো বান্দি শিখেছি। তো সেইভাবে দেখতে গেলে ইটস নট আ স্যাক্রিফাইস। অ্যান্ড অফকোর্স ইফ ইউ হ্যাভ দ্য লাভ, এই যে মিনাদি বলছেন এখানে দেখছি, শি ইজ সেইং হিয়ার, ইফ ইউ লাভ দ্য জব ইউ নেভার হ্যাভ টু ওয়ার্ক। সো ইটস
That is what. That is what.
এইটা তো আমি ভীষণ এগ্রি করি। I don't
you
work.
love it, you love it, so it's not like, you know, I'm sacrificing for something or I'm working for it. It's my love, it's my passion. So that's all about it. But it's been such an enjoyable session. Hi Indrani, bol ki
I
bolchish?
can see that Arundhati never ever stops being a writer. Even যখন I think even when she's sleeping, her
Yeah.
mind is working as a writer, which is fantastic. You know,
It
That's
is because when
perfect.
I listen to you, it is when you caught me probably. এটা আমি কখনো কাউকে বলি না, কিন্তু আমি সবাইকে ক্যারেক্টার মানে যখন গল্পের বই পড়ি, নভেল পড়ি, তখন আমি ওইভাবেই যেন মানে আই ডোন্ট ডু ইট, এরকম হয়ে যায় আমার মাথার মধ্যে। তো এখন আমি যখন তোমাদের কথা শুনছিলাম ওই রকমই লাগছিল যে it is like a story আমি পড়ছি, I'm going through the journeys both of you are taking me through. It has been really marveling experience. Chandradi, thank you so much. Thank you both of you, Indrani and Goirika.
Thank you for joining the team. Thank you for joining Kalakar. And my idea was that Kalakar means all Kalakars would be coming together to create a new Kala, to create something new ideas. And me and Indrani, we often talk about the future work that we are planning. So obviously it would be lovely to, you know, as you are already on board, আর অনুভূতি আমি সবসময় সবাইকে বলি, আমি কাউকে একবার বন্ধু বলে বা বোন বলে ডাকলে জীবনেও তাকে ছাড়তে চাই না, ভীষণ জোর করে জোরে ধরে রাখি। তো obviously you can't escape from this. So obviously there'll be no more discussion like this. To our viewers, if you have liked the session, I'm sure you have, please do share it with your friends and families who have missed it today. But it's going to be available on our Facebook page, Facebook profile, as well as on Kalakar's YouTube channel. But before we end the session with Gairika's performance, just to let you all know, as Indrani said, we are really looking forward to some new work. Definitely 2 more musicals coming up with Kalakar, and we are working on it. As soon as the stages, the venues are available, we are there. And also on the 31st of this month, I started Kalakar with few of my students. Now I have a family full of people from all over the world. But my students, whoever is learning from me, I don't teach very many students, but whoever is learning from me, I would like to present them on Kalakar. Whatever little they have learned, whatever little they can present, ওরা মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম আমাকে একেবারেই পাত্তা দেয় না, কিন্তু তারপরেও গুরু হিসেবে ভীষণ ভালোবাসে। তো হয়তো ওদের গানের মধ্যে দিয়ে ওই ভালোবাসাটুকুই আমি সবার কাছে পৌঁছে দিতে চাইবো। সো 31st of this month আমার ছাত্রছাত্রীরা যে যেমন পারে, যে যতটুকু পারে, যতটুকু শিখেছে, ওরা ওদের মতো করে গাইবে। আমার সব থেকে ছোট ছাত্রর বয়স 5 বছর, আর সব থেকে বড় ছাত্রী তার বয়স 75। তো এরা বিভিন্ন জায়গায় রয়েছেন, কেউ রয়েছেন ভারতবর্ষে, কেউ আমেরিকায়, কেউ লন্ডনে। তো এনারা সবাই আসবেন, যে যেমন পারে। আপনারা থাকলে আমার খুব ভালো লাগবে, কেননা এটা ওদের জন্য একটা সুযোগ। It's the opportunity for them to present something to all of you. So before we end today's session, Goirika, তুমি আমাদের কি দেখাবে বলো?
সেশন এন্ড হতে চলছে, and ডান্স করার আগে I would like to again thank Chandradi, Indrani, Arundhati. What a wonderful evening it was, seriously. আমি আসার আগে ভাবছিলাম খুব ফর্মাল হবে সবকিছু, বাট তোমাদের সাথে গল্প ফিলই আসেনি যে we are having a session. পুরো গল্পের মতো করতে করতে we actually, you know, cover so many topics. And I really hope, I look forward to work with you, Chandradi, again, to get associated with you. তুমি যখন বলছিলে অরুন্ধতী and ইন্দ্রাণী, তোমরা তো কলাকারেরই পার্ট, তখন আমি ভাবছিলাম বলবো চন্দ্রদি আমাকেও এখন বলো, that I am also
It's a family. So please come join
Exactly. I want to be part of that family. ওটা আমি বলতে চাইছিলাম তখন।
I have few other people in Kalakar's team. I have Dr. Imtiaz Ahmed, who is always there. Even today, he's watching us from the background, and I always tell him, Dada, be there, stand by. In case any problem, you are there. So he's always there. We have Kamal Virji with us always. We have Siddharth, Dr. Sid Kargupta. We have Dr. Sangjukta Ghosh, who is the artistic director of SOAS, South Asia Institute. অবশ্য সংযুক্ত থাকলে মাঝে মাঝে একটু ভয় পাই, ও প্রফেসর তো, ওকে দেখলে একটুখানি মাঝে মাঝে আই হ্যাভ বিন থিঙ্কিং বলে একটা প্রশ্ন করে, and I know okay that's now coming, so তখন একটুখানি টেন্সড থাকি। সেটা মিডিয়াটা থাকলে একটু থাকি। তবে আজকের সেশনটা আমরা সবাই মিলে ইটস লাইক সাখিস টুগেদার। It was wonderful. It was wonderful, and welcome to Kalakar family, Goirika.
Thank you so much, Chandradi. And আমি আবারও বলবো, আমার লাস্ট পারফরমেন্সের আগে আবারও বলবো, I'm indeed humbled and I'm so thankful to all three of you, all three lovely ladies, for having me here today. আমি আমার 2021 স্টার্ট করেছি আজকের ইভেন্ট দিয়ে, which I'm very excited about.
Thank you.
So আমার final performance. So today I showed you two Abhinaya pieces, which was quite different from each other. My final piece is a Pallavi. So Pallavi, as I had mentioned, is like a flower. You know, it's like blossoming of the flower. It starts slowly, but slowly picks up its pace. So the one that I'm going to perform today is called Basant Pallavi. Pallavi is the most graceful part of the Odissi repertoire. It is a pure dance of lyrical beauty that places an equal emphasis on the twin aspects of melody and rhythm. In Sanskrit, Pallavi means to grow. Like a creeper, the Pallavi grows in pace and complexity, slowly yet surely. Rather, they are used to create and enhance beauty. As the name suggests, the particular Pallavi is based on Rag Basant and set to Ektali. Dance choreography is by Guru Kircharan Mahapatra. I hope you all enjoy and like my performance. Just listen first. Max, you need to just. Is this okay?
Yes.
Yes, this is okay, Goirika.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Goibika. And as I said, it's been a wonderful journey to start these online sessions. And we are now moved to Mehfil, the new series. And thank you, all of you, for joining us today. And thank you for all your support throughout this difficult time. Goirika, thank you very much for wonderful performance and all these explanations. Obviously, I have learned so much. And the differences between Kathak, how to show the Bansuri in Kathak style as well as in Odissi style. That's wonderful. I'm sure everybody enjoyed it and loved it. So we will see you soon again. We'll see you on the 31st. Then we have, just to let you know, due to unavoidable circumstances, I had to postpone today's session with Ustad Shahbaz Hussain, the tabla maestro based in UK, but we have rescheduled that for the 27th of February. So I'll join you then with Shahbaz Bhai, but Mehfil session will continue. And then once again, lots of love to all of you. And গৈরিকা তোমাকে ধন্যবাদ, তোমার হাজবেন্ডকে আরো অনেক বেশি ধন্যবাদ, কারণ এই সমস্ত টেকনিক্যাল তোমার যে স্কিল আমি দেখলাম, ও না থাকলে সম্ভব হতো না।
Means a lot, Indrani. Every word that you have said, you, Indrani, Arundhati, means a lot. It is so motivating and so heartening, actually. I hope I continue doing it for the love of Odissi. And I hope that we all get many more opportunities to work with each other, because really, you come and meet such wonderful people, such wonderful team.
Thank you. Thank you, Indrani.
Thank
Um,
you.
We'll see you
Goika,
again.
that was wonderful.
Thank you so much.
To my viewers, take care, stay musical, stay safe. We'll see you soon again.